Welcome to Backstage with Richard Ridge. Casey Cott, who is best known for the role of Kevin Keller in the hit television series Riverdale, is making his Broadway debut as the newest Christian in the smash hit musical Moulin Rouge, and I caught up with him here at the Civilian. First of all, it's great to see you, my friend.
You too. You too.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute, yeah.
Okay, and now you're on Broadway. Now I can say it. Welcome to Broadway.
Thank you. Thank you.
How does it feel?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in my third week. It's been incredible. I could have never imagined. You know, you dream about it as a kid,
Yeah.
and then it kind of happens, and you're just surrounded by all these incredible people, and the cast of Moulin Rouge is incredible. So they've just welcomed me in and kind of showing me the ropes. I feel like just ushering me around the first few weeks, and it's been amazing.
Okay, Broadway debuts are really magical.
Mm-hmm.
Your brother had them. Mm-hmm. You were there for his. Mm-hmm. I mean, so talk about that first performance. Like, what do you remember about that night?
I don't remember much of my first show. I just remember everyone being like, remember this, like, take it in. And I was like, ah.
I got to get through it first.
It was the most, just an incredible night. You know, the audience was amazing. My whole family was there, and just the support of the building. I just felt them loving me no matter, you know, what happened. They just were giving so much love, and I think that you just never forget it.
Yeah.
You know, it was incredible, and getting to do it with Courtney and the cast, who were all just, you know, literally at moments pushing me around stage or whatnot. They were just awesome.
Okay, well, Courtney Reed, the sensational Courtney Reed, who we all love, is your Satine. You both went in the same night. Does it make it easier a little? Does it make it a little less stressful when the two leads go in together?
You know, I haven't experienced the other way. I think there's definitely some pros to going in together. I think being with such a professional like Courtney is phenomenal. Also, she did the tour, so she knew the show so well, and I think that having her as kind of a backboard whenever I didn't know where I was going has been super helpful and just encouraging, and she's incredible and the most kind. So I think a definite pro is having her going with me for sure.
So how did this all come about? Like, it's like, I'm going to come to Broadway. It's like, Moulin Rouge, what a fabulous show, what a fabulous role.
You know, I was thinking about that on the way here. I feel like I've been extremely fortunate to just have people take chances on me in the past 10 years. I've been super interested in playing this role for many years, and I think I had the pleasure of working with Bill Damashki, and I've met Alex Timbers a few times, and the whole team I kind of knew through various facets of life. And you know, when Riverdale was ending, this opportunity arose, and I couldn't be more excited or thrilled that I get to be here.
Okay, what was the musical numbers in the show are amazing. What was the first song you learned, and what was the last song you learned?
The first song we worked on a lot was the opening number, which, funny enough, is, you know, I don't sing too much in that number, but just the dancing and moving around, I think we really hammered that one home. And then the second one we really worked on is the pitch song, which is in Act 1 with, you know, Ziedler and Santiago and I, where we're pitching to the Duke this show we're going to do. Just the moving pieces of that. It took quite a minute to figure out, and the cadence of it. So we really worked on those, and they've become two of my favorite numbers throughout that process. You know, the first time you're on stage with the audience, it's like so exciting, and then pitch song is always just so much fun. It's hard not to laugh out loud every single night. So it's great.
Okay, so opening night, it's a Broadway rock concert going to Moulin Rouge. So the second people walk into that theater and fall in love with everything about that show. So you make your entrance, it's a roar of applause. Like, where is your mind, like that first night?
I think my mind was literally just don't fall off the stage. Just try to go to the right place at the right time and say the right thing and do the right thing, and you know, try not to lose my voice and just take it all in. And you know, we made it through. The thing I do remember is all of a sudden the show was over and I was home and I was with my brother and my wife, and just like no idea what just happened at all. But just thrilled and sweating all day, just sweating all day.
So I was going to ask you, the bow that night, do you remember anything about your bow?
I remember Courtney grabbing me and kind of like helping me through it. I remember the audience was just so encouraging. And I do remember just being like, I think that just happened. Like that was everything I dreamed about as a kid, and you know, us theater kids, you just embrace the moment, and it was amazing.
Yeah. Let's talk about the role of Christian.
Okay.
Such a wonderful role, but there's so much to it. I mean, what are the biggest challenges for you, like vocally and stamina? And
yeah, I think, you know, for someone like me who hasn't been doing musical theater for quite a while, I think just learning those tools again and trusting the team has been a great learning process for me. And trusting myself has been something that I've been working on a lot. When you sing like 10 songs, you really have to trust your instrument and not push, and trust Courtney. Courtney's been so helpful, and Eric and Ricky and Andre. They've just been so encouraging and loving. And when they encourage me, listen, and when they give me advice, listening, along with, you know, directors and everybody. But I think just trusting the script, trusting the process, and trusting the audience is going to love these songs.
Yeah.
That's been the first couple weeks, just focusing on that. And I think the more I do that, the more it kind of just comes out a little easier.
What a great role. Tell me what you love about him in Your Christian.
I love, you know, I think we've been able to really identify this young guy who's just so wanting to be loved and wanting to be validated by these kooky, awesome people, and just being thrust into this world that is, he's kind of the only human in this world, so to speak. Just being thrust into that and observing it and loving it, and then being welcomed in, I think, is my favorite thing. And each night it feels like they're just wanting me to be a part of their gang. And that's the greatest feeling you can have as a human too, is just wanting to be welcomed in. So they've been great, both in the show and backstage.
No, because it's great about this team and Alex, your director, because he's let everybody be themselves, bring their own person to the roles. I think that makes such a big difference.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's incredible playing this role after the two guys who have done it previous in this production. You know, everyone's the biggest Aaron Tveit fan, and also Derek Klena. You can't think of two guys that are more incredible. So I've had the pleasure of kind of building off of what they've created too, and you know, Alex and the music team is really built on the things that they've found playing this role, and so I'm lucky to have them as well that have kind of helped this process. And I still hit up Derek every once in a while, like, hey, where do you get your hair cut, or whatever, and he tells me right where to go. So he's it's been a blessing to have those guys too. Yeah.
The first time you saw yourself done up in the mirror as Christian, clothes, everything, like what went through your mind?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That would have been, we did this photo shoot with Courtney, and it was crazy. Yeah. That was the first time where I thought, oh, this is real. And we were in the dressing room, and it was really exciting and hot. I was like, oh, this coat's kind of warm. We might have to get, but it was very, very exciting. Yeah.
It's like, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I was like I'm going to be wearing this on stage in like a week. This is crazy. And this picture is going to be like all over my phone. And but it was awesome. It was really cool. Luckily, there was a lot of people taking photos of me, and I was just geeking out the whole time. So.
Well, let's just talk about the success of this show. Were you a big fan of the film? Were you a fan of Baz Luhrmann? Yeah, tell me about that. Yeah.
I'm a huge Baz fan. I mean, every movie he makes is incredible. From this to Elvis most recently.
Sure.
He's just the best. But this movie in particular, I think, transcended at the time his genre, so to speak, like this incredible explosion of so many things. And if you watch it, the careers that these actors have had since, it's like unbelievable. So I've always been a big Baz fan. I hadn't gotten to see the musical because I was in Canada for 7 years. So getting to come see it finally right before I joined, I got to see it like 5 times. I went every night, and it was just so exciting. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. So but big Baz fan for sure.
Yeah, it must have been great to be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be stepping into this role. I'm stepping into this show.
Yeah, I was like, are you sure? This is crazy. I don't know. And I was also like, I'm going to need a lot of coffee to get this energy going. But it's great. It's the most fun ever. Like, you just go out there, raise the sign, and all of a sudden the boom claps come in and everyone starts cheering, and it's every night. It's crazy. It's awesome.
People fly in from all around the world to see Moulin Rouge on Broadway.
Yeah.
Not once, not twice, sometimes 3 and 4. And they're huge fans of his. Why do you think people fall in love with this musical?
Well, I think there's tons of reasons too. I think you come watch it and you have to know at least some of the songs.
Yeah.
I think there's 70 songs in the show.
Yeah.
So you have to know some of the songs, and when they come on, you can just feel which part of the audience is connected to that song or loves that song or wants to sing along with the song. I think the characters are also unique, and they all hold such a great place in the story, and they all bring something so different. And I think it's written in such an intricate way that each character kind of has its own moment, and all those things blend together to this crazy explosion of lights and action and music and humor and joy and love and death, and you know, there's just something for everyone at some point of the show. So it's really fun, and it's fun to feel that on stage from the audience when you can feel them connecting to certain points. You know, it's really awesome.
You know, Broadway is back, bigger than ever. I mean, it's coming back. It's back. I mean, meeting the fans. Have you been able to meet some of the fans now?
Yeah.
That you're able to do that now.
Yeah.
What's that been like for you?
It's amazing. I mean, it's amazing because I still feel like I'm still them.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I am. I'm definitely them. So even when I'm backstage, I find myself just wanting to go talk to all the cast and be like, you know, like, tell me about when you were in Waitress or whatever show you were in. And then when I get to go out, I feel like a high school kid again at the stage door, and just meeting and talking to them. And it's something so unique that theater has too. In film and TV, you don't have this kind of way of sitting and talking right after you perform with an audience. So unless you're doing a sitcom, I guess. But this is just, it's so unique. So you get to go out, and when the show is vibing and the audience is vibing, and then right after you get to all be together, it's really cool. It's really cool.
You know, theater is life-changing. It's unlike anything else. I mean, people are like, oh my gosh, people do this live. You know, it's like, and because of your success in other mediums, people may be coming to witness a show, a Broadway show for the very first time.
Yeah.
Which happened to all of us.
Yeah.
What that means to you.
Yeah, I think that, it's funny you asked, this is something I was thinking about today as well. When you hear someone say it was my first Broadway show, there's like this little tug at your heart that just, you know, we all remember the first Broadway show, and it's really the greatest honor you can have as an actor to be a part of someone's first Broadway show. Yeah. Hopefully they like it, and they come back for a second one, but yeah, it's the best.
What was your first Broadway show that changed it for you?
The first one was Wicked.
Wow, Wicked.
Like, original Broadway
You're a baby.
cast. Yeah, it was a while ago. But not too long ago. Actually, I think Megan Hilty had taken over at that point. She was in.
That was life-changing for you, wasn't it, to see?
It was. I thought, oh, this is so cool. I think it was my brother's first as well. We were all there, and I think we saw Lion King that trip as well. But the first life-changing, so to speak, I think was fun enough watching Aaron Tveit actually at the Tonys of Next to Normal in that cast, being like, that is so unlike anything I've ever seen. And I think that was one of the first times where I thought, I want to do that. I don't know what that is, but that sounds really cool. So, yeah. All those things kind of come together to create some chaos in your brain that makes us do what we do.
Yeah. Because you and your brother were theater kids, but you weren't brought up in a theater family, were you?
No, in fact, he started, my brother started when he was young and kind of really was always into it. I didn't really catch the bug until I was 16 or so. So I was a little bit later. But I always loved watching him, and then finally just jumped in and loved every second. I haven't turned back. So,
was there a defining moment for you when you said, I think I want to do this for a living and try to make a living at this?
Yeah, I think I did a production of Guys and Dolls in high school, and
Who'd you play?
Sky, and I had a broken ankle, so I had a boot, and I just kind of like walked around.
Sky and a boot.
Yeah, actually, my high school friends came to Moulin Rouge 2 nights ago, and we were laughing so hard about it. But that was a big one. I remember telling my parents I really wanted to do this. We had this high school performing arts high school for half the day in our town, and I remember telling my parents I wanted to do that because I wanted to audition for schools, and they sat me down and said, you know, you can do this, but it's very, you know, difficult, and it's, you know, there's a long road ahead, but we're going to support you if you want to. And so that was that.
Because you've done some wonderful stage roles along the way.
Yeah, I've been lucky to do a couple things here and there. You know, Tommy at the Kennedy Center was awesome.
How incredible was that?
It was incredible. I mean, that show is incredible. And I really was wanting to do some theater at that time, being in the film space for a couple years.
Yeah.
And the Kennedy Center is a very special theater. As we all know. And another time where a cast just really gave me everything I needed.
And that was quick.
It was really quick. I think it was about 3 weeks all encompassing. But
did you know the show well?
No, I didn't know. I mean, I knew the album, but I didn't know the show well. I knew it well enough. I mean, we all grew up with Pinball Wizard, and so I knew it well enough. But it was amazing. It was just like Moulin Rouge, where these opportunities arise, and I don't know, it's the most overwhelming, humbling experience you could ever have. Especially when you get to work with such great actors. I think that's the best thing ever.
Yeah, but you've always found pockets. Like you did Parade.
Did Parade, yeah. I did.
Yeah.
I got to see that the other night too, which was awesome.
Amazing, right?
Yeah.
Who did you play in Parade when you did
I played Frankie Epps and a young soldier, and I saw it like 3 or 4 days before my debut, and I was just a mess because I was thinking about, you know, I think it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And that production obviously was amazing. But just hearing those songs, thinking about singing those songs a decade ago and about to make my Broadway debut is just awesome. It was so cool.
And you did The Prince of Egypt.
Prince of
Stephen
Egypt.
Schwartz,
yeah,
right?
I got to work with Stephen Schwartz.
Like the premiere,
and Scott
right?
Schwartz. Yeah, we did a reading that with Saleha Pfeiffer and Stark Sands and.
Look at that group that you were with.
I know. I gotta see that. I was texting Slick. She just started, obviously.
Yeah.
She's the best. But yeah, I've gotten to do some really cool things. And working with Stephen is a dream, and Scott Schwartz, they're just the dream team. And Bill Damashki, actually. This is the first connection.
So I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay, see?
First connection.
Full circle moment for you.
Yeah, so at opening night, we got to have that moment of, you know, full circle.
Yeah. How early do you like to get to the theater?
I go early. I need, I go an hour and 15 before.
Good.
And then just kind of have, you know, some tea and warm up, and then annoy Courtney for the next 45 minutes.
It's
great.
That's great, though.
Yeah.
Because what are some of your pre-show rituals? Are those...
I just stretching, I've noticed.
Okay.
I'm not 20 anymore, so you got to really stretch, warming up the voice.
And that coat weighs a lot, right?
Coat weighs a couple pounds. I'm still in the phase too of making sure I remember everything I'm supposed to do, so I kind of just go through the show right now. And then when it's time to go, it's time to go.
Yeah. What's the last thing you do before you hit the stage?
I have to walk backstage around kind of backstage, and all the cast is kind of over there, so we all just have like a fun like fist bump or hug and rally each other up because we're about to bring so much energy, and we just kind of like, here we go. It's like being you're at the locking into the roller coaster, about to get on, and you're not getting off once it starts.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the vibe, and then I walk out and raise the sign, and the boom claps start, and we get going.
And then the show's over.
The show is over, exactly.
And then you take your bow.
Exactly. All of a sudden we're bowing, and
but then you
I'm
remember
showering.
the whole show now, right?
There's a lot of glitter in my hair. I'm trying to get that out, and then next thing you know, you're at home eating cereal, and
I love
crazy.
It. It's the cereal, late night
cereal. Oh yeah, gotta have those grains.
I was gonna say, how do you unwind after this show? It's a big show.
Yeah, I think, you know, I go home, and if my wife's awake, we just chat. Or she's asleep, I have a cup of tea and watch some TV, and then have a bowl of cereal, and then next thing I know, I'm asleep, and it's morning. Yeah, so just kind of watching TV, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not too exciting after the show.
What are 2 show days like for you? Like,
2 show days are great. You know, it's a learning process for me. So much fun. Another roller coaster, but this roller coaster is double as long. It's almost like they don't let you get off, but you're kind of excited to go again. The audiences are crazy fun. The matinees get to be really fun because the cast is just incredible. So there's moments where you're like, this is crazy. You're singing Roxanne at 3:30, but the audience gets into it, and all of a sudden you're on that ride, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. And then I sleep for an extra hour that night, for sure.
And being back in New York, what it means to you? Because you've been away for a while.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best. I love New York.
Yeah.
And, you know, getting to travel to other places for work is incredible. But after 7 years away, I really enjoyed my time there. My family's there, have my family now. But I was so ready to be back in New York. And to come here with my family now is amazing. And we're having our son here. And to just be in the theater community again is amazing. And, you know, I love New York.
All right, well, let's talk about being a dad.
Okay.
How has being a dad changed the way...
Well, we got 1 more month.
Oh, okay.
Or 3 more weeks.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So it's coming in hot.
All right.
Coming in hot.
So being a... almost
soon-to-be dad.
So almost being a soon-to-be dad, how is it life-changing for you of how you look at your life and how you look at your career?
I mean, it puts everything into perspective.
Yeah.
Being a dad, I've watched my brother do it.
Yeah.
And a lot of my friends do it. And you never know until he comes. But
yeah.
I think it's just been nice when I'm really hard on myself to remind myself, you know, there's a lot more going on in life. And if you crack here, you do something there, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because the show goes on. And eventually you're home having your cereal. And soon I'll be feeding him milk while I have my cereal. So, and Derek actually had his son during the run as well. So he's been amazing, giving me tips in the theaters already. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be crazy. And I can always tell him, I was doing a Broadway show when you were born. And that's just the coolest thing.
Because your brother...
And he had his during bandstand.
We were all there.
Yes.
I think your dad, they were all going to the
hospital.
All there.
Yeah.
It was pizza day.
There was pizza day?
It was pizza day, right?
Yep, he had his first week of bandstand. So we're actually using the same doctor they used. So you can't write it. You can't write it.
So this is going to be like the same thing. You're going to have your son
right there
while you're on Broadway. Because I've asked Jeremy Jordan the same thing. Because I talked to Jeremy a lot, and I've talked to him all during the course of before he had his baby girl, and during and now, but she's getting older. Just how it changes of how you look at everything.
I think it opens your eyes a lot because, well, I mean, again, I'm going to learn more in 3 weeks, but I seem a lot less important, which is a good thing. I think as actors, sometimes we think a lot about ourselves, or I don't know about anybody else. I know I do. So I'm excited to, along with my wife, have 2 people to really do the show for. You know, it really elevates it.
Yeah,
I think so. We'll see. That, and hopefully I get a little more sleep than I'm expecting.
I don't think you're going to. Your brother didn't get it, Jeremy. That doesn't come.
I know.
So enjoy the rest. You're getting between 2 show days now.
I'm catching up now for later. So
there's no time for cereal after the show. You know that.
I know. We'll see what we can find. We'll see. I'll have power bars.
What are you loving the most about being here on Broadway? I mean, it's something like I said, we all dream of this as a kid. We come in, we see something, and you say, maybe one day I can work in this business somehow. And now here you are at the Al Hirschfeld, the old Martin Beck Theater, walking through that stage door 8 times a week. You know,
I think the surprising favorite thing for me is the process of learning the show. You know, your first show is nothing like you would expect it to be. It's better and worse and different and cooler and weirder and funky. And then you get to go do 2 shows the next day. And then you finish that week. And then the next week you go back and you learn so much more. And I'm in my 3rd week and I'm still all day just thinking about things I'm trying to figure out vocally and here and there. And if you really love that process, it's the coolest thing ever. But you have to trust the process, and that's something that they've been telling me to do. But I really like learning and learning new things and trying new things. And eventually I think you kind of find this playing field that you operate in. And so I'm excited to get there, but we're getting closer.
No, because people always told me it's not just the onstage track you have to learn.
Oh, yeah.
Like Gwen Verdon always said, she taught all the charities the backstage track. Where she goes, I have 2 seconds to sit here to take a sip of water, or I sit down for 2 seconds and then I get up.
Luckily,
so what's Christian's track like off stage, or is there one?
Scotty is my guy. He's with me the entire show. He's my incredible dresser. And
who moves you around?
He does everything. I couldn't tell you my track because he literally tells me where to go, and he does everything.
Yeah.
He's the best. And then sometimes a castmate will just, like I said, physically grab me and put me wherever I need to go. But it's a little bit of a dance back there for sure. And every once in a while they'll go, hey, after this song, can you make sure you go da da da?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but I have no idea. And I just hopefully find my way around, and they're the best. That backstage is so much fun. Yeah. The biggest lesson I learned joining the show is how much fun you have backstage. It is the greatest party in the world. It is so much fun. They are just dancing, singing, moving around, having the best time every show. So it's awesome.
Okay, so I made my Broadway debut in the Prom. I did a Wednesday matinee.
Oh, no way!
Yeah, as the interviewer. And I worked really hard on this.
Yeah?
And I'll tell you, I had to open the show. I had to listen to the overture, and then I had to I had to watch the curtain go up. That whole entire cast was just having so much fun on stage. And they were trying to make me laugh.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I am focused. I was not going to miss my entrance.
For sure.
So it's like it happens at Moulin Rouge too, right?
Oh, yeah. But luckily, a lot of the times, we're trying to make each other laugh in the scene, so it works out.
And now you're comfortable with that.
And now we're
like,
comfortable with it. Yeah, the first night they definitely weren't, but now every once in a while I get a couple side eyes or whatnot. So there's never a dull moment, we'll say that.
It's crazy back there.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious. It's the most fun.
Let me take you back to opening night for a second. Who was there from your family, your loved ones, your theater peeps? Who was there that night that made it extra special for you, that first performance?
I think just my family being there. A couple of my castmates from Riverdale got to come.
Nice.
Some of my great friends in New York were there. Going back, you learn, maybe your first show, you give people a couple weeks before they come, but I would have never changed a thing about all those people being there. And after they just give me a hug, my college roommate was there, and his wife, and just seeing my family, seeing my parents after, I think was the most special. And I think, seeing my brother and my sister and, my wife, it was awesome. Well, I was so tired though.
Yep, I can imagine.
But the most exhilarating exhaustion of all time.
Well, there's nothing like it. We were so excited when I heard that you were announced to come here. I was like, finally!
Oh.
But like I said, just enjoy this whole entire time.
I will.
So you're in for a nice limited run. In the show.
Right, I'm excited. It's going to be so much fun.
Welcome to New York and welcome to Broadway,
Thank
my
you.
friends.
It's so good to see you. Always good.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah.